Hello, and welcome to The Discerning Nerd. I'm your host, Will Allen, and with me, as always,
Mike Bryson.
All right, this week we've decided we're going to take on some story structure stuff.
Yeah, like stuff that we've seen plenty of times, just overtly common elements, and we are going to spend a large portion talking about the fact that we can't seem to stop making movies about a white guy just saving the day for a bunch of helpless natives.
Yeah.
But first, I mean,
like Hollywood, we get, like, up until the 70s, I get it, sort of.
But now we can
stop.
scale it back. We can scale it back just a little bit.
Like, when Avatar came out, it's like, okay, that's...
I've seen this.
Okay.
But essentially, I mean, everyone knows that there are certain story archetypes. We want to go with stuff that's a little more specific, where it's really just like the same plot, and it's not something like the hero's journey, which we already know about. And we know that technically Episode 1, Episode 4, and Episode 7 of Star Wars are basically all the same movie, but we know that because it is intended for the Star Wars series to be cyclical.
And actually, the original Star Wars was specifically supposed to be a direct interpretation of the hero's journey. If you break down the monomyth theory, you can actually go, yeah, that's Luke.
That's it.
That's
There's
Obi-Wan.
The one. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. And it was modeled after...
Greek.
Yeah. But that's the classic hero's journey.
Except for the first 20 minutes, which were based on the Akira Kurosawa movie, but...
Yeah, but only the first...
well, only the start of it. Yeah,
yeah, because it technically, the original version of Star Wars was that it was essentially, like the Hidden Fortress, told from the point of view of the two lowliest characters, but somewhere along the way, we really stopped following C-3PO and R2-D2 specifically, and we really start following Luke.
Well, yeah, because I think even George Lucas realized while he was writing the script, man, the laser sword fights are way more interesting than the trash can and the prissy gold man arguing with each other.
Yes. I had more fun looking at a naked gold body when I was watching James Bond, so...
Goldfinger.
I'm trying to think of what's the best Bond song?
I am a bad person to ask because my favorite has very little to do with the movie it's attached to. Because my favorite is Live and Let Die. Okay.
You know what?
Which is not a good Bond movie, but it's a great Bond theme.
It's a great Bond. It's a great song. I will actually give it to, even though I'm going to piss some people off by not going classic, I'm going to give it to Skyfall.
I hate that song.
I don't. It is fucking brilliant.
If it wasn't like the 10th song exactly like that Adele had released, maybe I would like it.
Yeah, well, no. You just ignore the rest of the Adele over here, and you just look at Skyfall, and you're
but
like,
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't ignore Skyfall.
You mean you don't like Rolling in the Deep?
No.
But we could have had it all.
Look, Adele has released the same song 10 times. I don't know who her shit-ass boyfriends are, but stop breaking up with Adele. You're fueling her...
Dude, at least she's not Taylor fucking Swift. Like, at least we've got that. At least it's not Tay-Tay, who... Like I've said it before, maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. Because she's so many songs, so many ex-boyfriends, so many ex-friends, and it's all just haters, shake it off, I got exes, they suck... Maybe if you're the common element in all your tragedy, it might just be your fault.
Her very first freaking song that she got famous with was like the perfect... Honestly, Taylor Swift, no, I'm blaming you for the friend zone. That's your fault, Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Because you released that stupid song about, why won't my best friend notice that I'm in love with him and date this stupid slut cheerleader? Because she said, I'll go out with you. You didn't ask. Stop being creepy.
Yes. The friend zone is bullshit. No one owes you anything. Get over it. Eat a dick.
And it's even weirder to hear the friend zone expressed from the voice of a teenage girl.
Yeah. If you have ever sat down and thought to yourself... she put me in the friend zone. You are officially part of the problem. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, since we brought up Akira Kurosawa, I will say that he is responsible for a lot of archetypal stories.
Yes, and America didn't even know that he was until like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was really depressing.
Because except for like film buffs, I don't know when, oh man, Akira Kurosawa movies are awesome, like was a thing.
I found out about it was like
Because it was like high school before I found out about it.
It was like 10 years ago, and I just happened to be at home on a day when they were running an Akira Kurosawa marathon, and I'm watching it, and I've seen a lot of movies. I'm just like, I've seen these movies before.
But then you look at, this came out in 1956.
Well, yeah, it's like, but these are in black and white, and I've seen a bunch of color movies that look like this. Like, this is the same thing. Like, you know that The Magnificent Seven was the Seven Samurai, and we all know that.
Everybody knows that.
But Yojimbo is Fistful of Dollars, and it's Last Man Standing. It's the same fucking story. Two rival gangs, like two criminal organizations, have torn a town apart, and then one guy steps in offering to be muscle for both sides and picks the organizations apart bit by bit until the town is saved.
It's also that awesome episode of Samurai Jack.
Yes, and it is also that awesome anime, Kaze no Yojimbo. I like that.
It's a good show. It's an odd show.
And it's a little long. Runs a little long.
Yeah, half those episodes could not be in it, and it would be fine. But it does end with a helicopter getting hit by a train.
And if you don't like that...
Get out.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. That's brilliant.
And Rashomon was that really great episode of Batman the Animated Series where Bullock and Montoya and the rookie cop all tell their version of Batman taking out some thugs.
Well, I mean, that was actually used later in... that's used actually a lot. Because it was used in an episode of Our Real Monsters.
Well, it's called the Rashomon plot.
Yes.
He invented it.
Where it's literally just a group of characters all telling a different set of events.
No, they're all telling their version of the same set of events.
It's a different version of the same thing. Yeah, God, I've seen that so many times. It is normally used in TV more, and usually used for comedy.
Well, yeah, because it's one person tells what actually happened, one person tells the version that makes them look good, and one person is like the odd outsider who tells it like the weird, crazy, mystical way.
Yeah. It's good, though. And there were, I don't know if there's... Oh, and then personally, I've seen several movies like Kagemusha, and in Kagemusha, like... And usually it's like a leader who either dies or he's unfit and he gets replaced with an identical twin or just some guy who looks just like him who then proceeds to rule better or worse. Like, it depends how you look at it. The Man in the Iron Mask is exactly this story. King Louis is being a prick. They replace him with his incredibly nice twin brother.
I don't know about that one, because didn't that actually happen?
That's like a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Because there's a point in King Louis' rule where he seemed to get softer, but they still totally cut his head off.
Well, yes.
But a lot of historians agree that only happened because he realized there was a revolution, but it was way too far gone for them to do anything about it.
Thus is the fate of most French kings.
Yeah. And can we actually look at history right quick for agreeing that when 3 people depose one guy, those 3 people will then fight each other?
Yeah. The group either needs to be one dude deposing them or, like, a lot of dudes.
Yeah, when it's 3 guys, because, like, the 2 times it happened...
Triumvirates always fail.
Yeah, well, when we look at it, it's following the deposition of 2 different emperors. You had the triumvirate after Caesar, and then you had the second triumvirate, and then they both fell apart. And then you had the 3 guys that took control, which is also a triumvirate.
And then Napoleon deposed them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Robespierre killed his other 2 guys, and he was just like, I'm Maximilian! And then things did not go well for Maximilian Robespierre. He had a bad time.
He did, and several hundred years later, he was put into a sci-fi story that basically retold the French Revolution, where he got to be Robespierre.
What is this?
Honor Harrington.
Oh, right!
Yeah,
Yay!
like the whole first 9 books in that series are just them retelling the French Revolution, except during the French Revolution, they're also fighting the British.
Yeah.
And the British are kicking the shit out of them, and halfway through the war, they team up with America.
I like the fact that they basically make up some hokey bullshit with, like, gravity shields, just so that they can make sure the way you battle in space is still to broadside your enemies.
Yeah, he made a special set of physics so that space warship combat worked the same as wooden warship combat.
Fuck it. I mean,
Until he decided, fuck it, I've watched some anime, everything is about missiles.
Yeah.
All the missiles, forever the missiles.
well, in space, ballistic weapons are insanely effective.
No, but man, like, he goes to, like, Macross.
Yes!
Like, they get to a point where they're firing missiles that shoot more missiles.
So what we're looking at here is Bang-I-O.
Yes.
It's Bang-I-O. It's just, what happened? I Bang-I-O'd. And what does that do? I released 192 missiles. Homing missiles? There are no other kind. They only seek.
Yeah, there's a scene when they first bring out the missiles where it's like, because they have, like, they deploy pods to fire the missiles. So they're like, oh, what's the broadside going to be? And it flashes on the screen, and it's like, how many are incoming? 11,000.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like, oh, we're going to die.
It's like, well, that's death. That's death.
And then they reinvent, like, dogfight combat, just so that's also there.
I'll take it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just put it in space. I don't care.
Yeah, it works great. Star Wars, freaking X-Wing, that is completely improbable for the way anything behaves in space.
It's not supposed to do that.
But it's awesome.
But it's cool. And I believe that you can patch pretty much any hole with the rule of cool.
Yeah, like, can you do a bank turn in space? No. Because that requires wind resistance to happen. Does it look awesome?
Yes. So let's just have it. Otherwise, literally, space battles would take place, like, light years away. You'd track where they're going to be. You'd launch a particle, and then it would zip straight through their reactor, kill everyone on board, and they would never know you were there.
Yeah.
And in order to turn, you would just fire a thruster on the side to spin around in place, and you would be, like, basically pointing towards Earth while moving towards Mars, and then you'd fire your back thrusters.
Well, yeah, like if any of you have seen the excellent sci-fi show The Expanse, which is based on an even more excellent book series. Show's good, books are better, books go into more detail. That's inevitable.
Or,
but yeah, they don't have space combat, basically. Their space combat is the two ships get near each other and shoot at each other with machine guns, because that's all they can do.
Yeah, well, honestly, laser weapons, you wouldn't want to use that because you run the risk, considering that lasers can technically travel, it's a light. It's light. It can travel forever. So even if you pierce straight through something, it's going to keep going. And you run the risk of eventually hitting your own shit doing that. And so ballistic weapons are the more appropriate. They would actually be more effective because everyone knows that a particle hurtling through space with no resistance will punch straight through, but will still eventually fucking stop.
We'll see. That's why Star Wars was brilliant, because they're not shooting lasers at each other. They're shooting blaster bolts, which are a burning compressed plasma blast, which eventually runs out of fuel.
Different.
And the reason you can hear them fire is because there are speakers inside all of the ship cockpits to simulate the sounds of combat so that the pilots have a sense of situational awareness. Yes, all of this is bullshit justification that came out of the novels,
but it works.
Fuck you, it's an explanation.
Rule of cool, Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's a rule of cool Band-Aid.
Wedge Antilles is back in Star Wars Rebels.
Really?
Yes.
Whee!
They show him getting recruited.
Oh, I love him. All right. I will say that there's also the Frankenstein story, that man creates life, plays God. Man is literally destroyed specifically because he underestimates the intelligence of his creation.
Who is the real monster? Man.
That reminds me of that scene from Futurama when they did the scary door, and it's the mad scientist, and he just goes, I have combined the DNA of all the most evil creatures on planet Earth to make the most evil creature of all. And he pours in the little thing, and the chamber steps out, and it looks like Al Gore for some reason. He steps out and literally says, turns out it's man. I love that. I love that. But
the Frankenstein plot, probably the most famous recent interpretation of the Frankenstein plot, besides all these shitty, like, Asylum Frankenstein movies.
Yes, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park, because that's literally what happens. They create life they were not meant to create. They're brought low by their own hubris because the creatures are far more intelligent than they thought they were.
You spent so much time wondering if you could. You didn't stop to think if you should.
You have to pound on the table when you do that.
Thank you, Jeff Goldblum. He didn't pound on anything. He's sitting in the back of the truck. It's just...
No, that's the dinner scene.
Oh, yeah.
It is, and he just hits it right quick, and it jangles the silverware.
I wish...
The only one on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer! Oh, Attenborough, you were gone too soon. taken from us.
Too soon. He was like 90.
I mean, he was old, but I just wanted to be his friend. Much better than the John Hammond from the books, by the way.
Well, yeah, because everyone in the books is a worse version than in the movie.
Well, I'm actually I'm reading a book right now.
Michael Crichton's not a good author.
I'm reading a book right now by Matt Riley named it was called The Great Zoo of China, and it's literally Jurassic Park with dragons, except they are even smarter. And so there's another one.
Woo.
Yeah, honestly, that plot line's used just because I guess people have to let us know
we suck.
That our own hubris is our greatest enemy.
We know.
Yeah, we get it.
We've known that ever since the 40s when we accidentally invented a way to blow up the Earth.
By that measure, maybe... I'm trying to think, is there... Pretty much any Godzilla movie, technically. But it wasn't specific, and it's not that he's too smart, he just has nuclear breath.
He also didn't do it on purpose. They didn't do Godzilla on purpose. Like,
yeah.
Godzilla is more, what has science wrought?
We are brought low by our own unintended consequences. It's unforeseen consequences. It's Half-Life.
Well, that's the first Godzilla movie, and then they become, oh no, a giant creature, who will save us? It's Godzilla! He's on our side for some reason.
Yeah, okay. I will say this. Half-Life is the same plot as Doom, but more realistic. It really is.
It would be hard to be less realistic than Doom.
Especially the new Doom, which, by the way,
I'm in hell. I'm fighting demons. Cyber Spider Hitler. Ah!
No, it's just the Spider Mastermind. The Mecha Hitler was in Wolfenstein 3D. It has nothing to do with Hitler and Doom. Come on, man. I will say this, though. Legit, the new Doom is fucking brilliant. It seriously is. If anyone out there hasn't played it, play it. You'll love it. It's visceral and brilliant. No reloading? Why would you reload? Reloading is a thing of the past.
The only thing I know about it is you can fist bump a Kewpie doll of yourself.
Yes, you can do that.
I'm down with that. That's enough for me.
Boom.
It's like when Warhammer 40k Space Marine came out, and the advertisement was like them establishing it as sort of being like Gears of War, and then they just go, cover is for pussies.
Yeah, you don't do that.
How do you regain health? You drink the blood of your enemies.
Yep. You rend flesh from bone, and that restores you.
Yes.
This is good.
Uh-huh.
We need this in our lives.
I wish that 2K hadn't gone under and we got those 2 sequels they were developing.
Yeah. But at 2K...
They were going to give Titus his own chapter.
Was it 2K? Or was it THQ?
Yes, THQ.
Yeah.
Either way, they went under and they had 2 sequels in development. The third sequel was gonna start with Captain Titus having his own chapter of Space Marines. That was...
Yeah. God damn it. Why do all things, like all beautiful things, get ruined? Because that's a good game.
Because of Wall Street.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Oh yeah, that contributed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like when...
Here's a business tip for you if any of you are aspiring entrepreneurs. Don't go public. All it does is ruin your company.
I mean, Publix is still going strong despite being not actually that profitable of a grocery chain, and the main reason is it's employee-owned, technically.
And let's go, remember when Dell was going to go bankrupt like 9 years ago? What did they do? They delisted themselves from the stock market and went back to going, shit, we need to build products that's actually good. And they survived because they did that.
Yeah.
Dells are no longer
IBM
walking
too.
trash. Yes.
IBM.
Get off the stock market. It's bad for you. It's bad for you.
It's good for growing your company. It's not good for your company surviving.
Yeah, look at how Apple is now because they're slaves to their stockholders.
God. I hate that company.
They took away your headphone jacks.
And you still bought the phone.
I know.
Like, that's the worst part. My boss has one, and I look at him like, he's like, I can't figure out how it works. I'm like, because it doesn't work. It's not...
Yeah, every review I read of the iPhone 7 was basically, don't buy this.
The Google Nexus 4 that came out years ago, to this day, has better specs than the iPhone 7. It's a fucking garbage paperweight. That's all it is. I ordered a phone from China for $100. It is not a $700 phone. And this phone can run PlayStation games. And you know what it has? Sir, what is that?
That looks like a 3.5mm headphone jack.
My God.
But we were talking about story plot things.
Yes. Specifically, the one we're going to spend a large chunk of time on before we inevitably lose our topic and the plot is the classic Pocahontas.
Or, as I like to call it, White Man Saves the Natives.
Yeah, we should call it Dances with Fern Princess Tarhantas.
Tarhantas sounds like a cool character from something.
Tarhantas.
It's like a Mortal Kombat character. It's freaking, the new reboot. It's like, oh man, we've got to, Luke Cage, not Luke Cage. Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage.
Sorry, Luke Cage just came out on Netflix. It's good. You should watch it.
It's very good.
But yeah, Johnny Cage is like, oh, we've got to fight the Netherrealm's greatest champion, Tarhantas.
Tarhantas. He has entire moose for his arms.
He just shows up. Tarhantas is here to kill you, Johnny Cage. Enoch Chuck.
Is that Nightwolf doing that? Because he's the token Native American.
I don't know. Is it bad? I don't ever play Mortal Kombat games. I just find compilations of the cutscenes to watch the ludicrous storylines.
Dude, it's utterly brilliant. It really is. It's actually really entertaining.
Dude, Mortal Kombat X has the best plot.
It does!
The entire universe is saved by Johnny Cage's child.
Yeah, what's her name?
Is it
some? It's a really a generic.
Fuck it, her name's Elena. I don't know.
It is
because we determined all blonde white women in video games are named Elena.
Yes, they are. Elena Fisher.
Elena from Vanquish.
From Vanquish, yeah. It's like blonde girls that are in on the action.
I'm sure I'm wrong, but I don't care enough.
But I don't care because those are the only two I give a shit about.
Yeah.
Cassie. Cassie Cage.
Yes.
I bet her middle name's Elena. But no, it's this plot line that you've seen 1,000 times where there are a bunch of greedy white dudes that go to a place where some natives have a thing that the white people want. And then the natives are beset by these white folk until one of these white folk fall in love with the native princess or chief's daughter.
And becomes best at native traditions.
Yet best, but despite having literally no background in any of that shit. They know nothing.
The only one of those that doesn't happen is Pocahontas, and that's only because it couldn't, because it didn't, because Pocahontas was a real person.
And even then, the version of Pocahontas we've been fed is 90% bullshit.
Well, yeah, because unless you watch the shitty sequel that they made, her real-life husband that she married in real life because she was real isn't in the Disney Pocahontas movie.
Yeah, John Rolfe.
Yeah.
That was her real husband, who basically killed her by taking her to England, which got her infected with a bunch of illnesses she didn't have any, resistance to. And he was a tobacco, lord, and she was basically just trumped up over there as in Uncle Tom to prove that they weren't being that mean to the natives. And they so were.
And then she smoked a lot.
So much.
She did live pretty long for all of the diseases ravaging her body.
Barely.
She made it into her 50s.
Did she?
I think so. She looks pretty old in that picture.
The painting?
It's yeah. She looks old in that painting.
All right. She also looks white in that painting.
Well, she was dusted.
Yeah, very heavily. With arsenic powder?
Yeah. I was like, she looked white, but they all looked white because that was back when women just, makeup.
Here we go. You've seen this movie. You've seen Dances with Wolves. You've seen Fern Gully. You've seen Princess Mononoke. You've seen Pocahontas. And I know you've seen Avatar. And
actually, I want to go down this list real quick of just what the white man wanted in each of these movies, because I think it's the same in 3 of them.
All right.
Dances with Wolves. They just wanted them gone, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, rid of them. Fern Gully, trees.
Trees. They wanted trees.
Princess Mononoke. They wanted gold.
Princess Mononoke, the white people wanted the iron.
Was it they found gold? There was gold involved.
No. In Princess Mononoke, there was no gold. It was only iron. Pocahontas was gold, and Avatar was
unobtainium.
Oh my fucking god! And I am going to go off because I'll explain this because people have picked out the unobtainium thing, and I agree, you should. Because unobtainium is a joke in the movie community. Because what unobtainium actually is, it's a term they use for the rare substance that's hard to get that people are seeking in any movie. They use it as a script filler and as a term in the movie industry for something like, hey, and they're looking for the unobtainium. And
it didn't even come from Avatar. It was in the core because that was a jokey sci-fi movie.
Yes, it was hokey on purpose.
Yeah,
but it didn't even come from that. It is literally a term used in the movie industry to refer to any... It's like phlebotinum. It's any substance that fits the bill.
Yeah, or the MacGuffin.
Or the MacGuffin. It is unobtainium. But they left it in this deadpan serious movie, and then they didn't replace it later with the term that you should use. They just called it unobtainium.
Or
it's
tell us
stupid.
what it does.
But they don't...
We don't know why it's valuable. We just know they want it.
Yeah, they're just like, it's unobtainium. Like, but you just called it that. You just called it unobtainium. And what is that, Giovanni Ribisi?
I don't care.
Why is that guy, in everything he's ever done, look like the slimiest fucker?
I don't know.
He's just always some slimy dude.
Why does Zoe Saldana always have to be CG overed or painted some color? Or
yes. Can she just be, like, I think she's black in just Star Trek.
That might be it, as far as I know.
Or she's someone's mistress.
Yeah.
She's a hora, she's a mistress, or she's not her normal color.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because it's, it's just brown. Like, we have, those are real people.
Yeah.
We have those. No, but it just... God damn it, guys!
Oh, I have another one to add to that list.
What?
The Last Samurai.
Oh, god damn it, Keanu Reeves.
That one doesn't even have... It's not Keanu Reeves. It's Tom Cruise.
I know, but it made me think of that stupid samurai movie that he was in. Like
the 47 Ronin?
Yeah. I'm sorry. It just, every time we mention samurai, it's Keanu Reeves is in my head. And it's not... Like, I don't even hate the guy. I love Keanu Reeves. But he shouldn't have walked anywhere near any movie with a sword in it.
Because here's my specific beef with The Last Samurai. I will give the devil's advocate argument. Tom Cruise is not the last samurai in that movie. It is the actual Japanese people. The guy he befriends in the movie is the last samurai.
Yes.
But that's not the way it's advertised.
And
in the movie, he is given a set of sacred samurai armor to ride into battle alongside the real samurai, and he's the only one who lives.
So he is, at the end, the last samurai.
He kills a samurai in combat. The samurai leader forces that samurai's widow to nurse him back to health. He falls in love with her. She falls in love with him. And then all the samurai, except him, get mowed down when they fight the Japanese soldiers who have guns.
The Last Samurai.
Yes.
Starring Tom Cruise. Arguably the whitest man on earth.
He doesn't have any thetans, though.
Yes, he does. He's still... Because he's not... What is it? I don't even know what the ranks are.
Oh, who gives a shit?
But yeah, but if you pay $150,000 a year, and you go through the auditing process, and you bring in at least 5 recruits a year, and you do that for 20 years, then you can get to level Splunge.
And if you don't, we'll make you work on our offshore oil rig base where you work for 30 cents an hour in virtual slavery. Because that's legal, apparently.
Are they just the Enclave from Fallout?
Yes! Except instead of having badass power armor, they just have,
2 rods that you hold to determine how sinful you are. I feel like what they did is they started out just using a theremin. And then they just kind of goofed it after that. They're just like... They just say whale songs. They're like, sorry, you're really sinful.
Yeah, we give us $50,000 and we'll pull the ghosts of ancient aliens out of your body.
Yeah, all right.
Sure.
That can only apply to the most egotistical, lonely people.
Yeah, I mean...
Those are celebrities.
Really? Okay, government, you need to start pulling the, religion card away from some of these cults, because that's a cult. It is a cult.
We all know. Let's not... But, I mean, honestly, of those movies that follow the same plot, like, why? Why, oh, why?
Well, here's my thing that's even... It really speaks to filmmaking technique being important. Those 5 movies have the same plot. Only 2 of them are good.
Yeah, because, like, Princess Mononoke is still my favorite Miyazaki film. It is flawless. It is a brilliant movie with nothing wrong with it. And then there's Ferngully, which is also amazing, mainly because you get to hear Robin Williams rap as if he were a bat.
And then you get to hear Tim Curry basically have an orgasm about pollution.
Ooh, you love my... toxic love. He might as well have just said toxic cum. We know. We get it. We're not confused. Like, every time he's saying that, I really feel like when he was singing that song, he had his dick in his hand. Like, he was just jerking and just coming.
That's just
buckets.
the only way he knows how to sing. Because that's how he sings in Rocky Horror, and that's how he sings in Spamalot.
I see you quiver with anticipation.
That's how he sings in Spamalot, too.
Except you can't scat with a goddamn.
That's the joke, though, because neither can the lady.
Well, the thing is, I saw Spamalot because Tim Curry was a better singer than the guy that replaced him when they went off Broadway.
When they went off Broadway, but had the entire original cast except for Tim Curry when they did the swap with the West End production. That's when I saw it.
It was the portly guy with kind of like a reddish brown facial hair. He can scat.
He can.
That guy can scat like a motherfucker. Scat like skibbity bop 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 bop, not scat like shitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important that people know that.
Yeah. Spamalot's not that weird.
Yeah. Or else they call it Scat-a-lot. I feel like I could write that play. I think it would be a fucking hit.
Don't do that.
It would be a sequel to my other smash
Just
hit.
because You're in Town is a thing doesn't mean you
we need Scat-a-lot, and then we need to release my hitherto unreleased one about a bunch of plumbers in an insane asylum.
All you have to do for Scat-a-lot is show 6 months after Rent is over when they're all dying of AIDS.
Yeah, because you shit your pants a lot, right? We're just going to say you do that, right?
I don't know. I assume. I hear everyone tells me about fluids, so I assume.
Yeah, sure. But no. I've written another musical. It's about an insane asylum populated entirely by plumbers. It's called Plumbers Cracked. Yes, that was literally for one lame-ass pun, and I am really sorry. Sorry, everybody. My bad. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, back to white people saving the day. I really feel like we need to stop making this movie.
Yeah, even if it's not that specific plot like those 5 movies have, stop. It's bad. Stop doing that.
Yeah, like
Please stop doing it. Like, it's awkward, even in like A Fistful of Dollars, when it's 2 groups of white people fighting, and a third unrelated white guy comes in and fixes everything. That's weird.
It's just so many white dudes just saving the day.
Badly.
Yeah, not even in a good...
Look at freaking Avatar. Sam Worthington doesn't manage to save the lives of the 2 best characters on his team.
Yep.
He got Michelle Rodriguez killed again.
Which I want to bring that up. If she is ever in a movie where... Okay, that chick, she doesn't need a man and doesn't need a man's approval. She's going to prove she's 100% the badass... strictly only tank top wearing female character who almost always flies or drives something and then gets fucking wasted by the end of the film.
Yeah.
Every damn time. That chick cannot live through a movie.
And they killed Norm.
Norm?
Who was my favorite character in Avatar. Because he's the other one. Like, I'm sure nobody remembers who Norm is. Norm was the other guy who had an Avatar.
Yeah. Though, I will say this... They got that wrong.
One.
Yeah, they got that wrong.
Yeah, those are not avatars. Avatar is a spiritual projection. A physical projection is called a Waldo.
So it should be named Waldo. Also, they ripped the entire thing about the Avatar, and especially them being a blue alien, straight from, I think is either Poul Anderson or a Harlan Ellison story. And they got 0 credit. But then Harlan Ellison has gotten 0 credit
for everything
he's ever done. Which really sucks, because he wrote The City on the Edge of Forever, the best Star Trek original series episode, but took his own name off the credits because he didn't want to be associated with what he called, like, schlock sci-fi.
Sometimes you gotta swallow that ego, man.
I like the first way you said it.
Swallow that eagle!
I feel like you should. I feel like that's what we should tell all those people that we go and invade. Swallow that eagle.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Do it! Swallow the eagle!
Swallow that eagle! Freedom!
Also, we're talking about white people saving the day and avatars. Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Just the movie, though.
He turned all the minority characters white.
Except
the bad guys!
Who he made the same race as himself.
Well, sort of, because none of the people who portray the Fire Nation in that are the same ethnicity.
They're all just ambiguously brown in a Middle Eastern or Indian way.
Because Dev Patel is Indian.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who plays Uncle Iroh, I cannot remember his name, I'm sorry, actor, is like Lebanese or something. And Asif Mandvi...
I know. You should have known better.
He's not scary. He's not.
You know, he's a funny guy.
That was literally M. Night Shyamalan going, "You're brown. That makes you scary to my viewing audience."
Yes, and his name, I believe, is pronounced Shyamalan. Or
Shmalabada Ding Dong.
Yeah, Shyamalama Ding Dong. Shimamamamama. Shahabada Baba Family.
Who cares? M. Knigget can go fuck himself.
Knigget. You silly English Knigget.
It took me so long to understand that line.
Oh, man.
Because it's like, you don't get it when you hear him say it, but when you see the line written down, it's like, oh, got it.
I'm thinking, and I was saying beforehand that honestly, but I was saying that I thought that Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome specifically also fit.
I say it
in a weird way
because Mad Max is set in Australia, and I can't think of a whiter place on Earth than that.
Well, yes, but he has no knowledge of the culture he stumbles into.
How much knowledge do you need of a culture of 2 men enter, 1 man leave?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It is a completely separate thing, and they are oppressing, like, the League of Children, basically. He becomes their champion and defeats the Thunderdome. I mean, it fits.
I guess.
The only difference is he's just helping other white people for once.
I'm tainted by Fury Road, where he doesn't want any part of it the whole movie.
Yep. But that is a better movie in every way.
Yeah. Most movies are better than Beyond Thunderdome.
The only reason I'm glad Beyond Thunderdome exists is so that in normal conversation, at any point, when it is necessary, I can say the sentence, "Can't we just get Beyond Thunderdome?"
Also, it gave us the fictional concept of Master Blaster.
And also that weird dude that cries when the...
Yeah, but little guy riding bigger guy is a better concept that has been reused much more frequently.
Yeah, it was used to particularly harsh and debilitating effect in Dark Souls 2, which, if anyone remembers, going to Earthen Peak and running across these weird giant dudes that lob shadow balls of evil at you, those suck. And there's a dude on their back, and they have separate health.
Master Blaster!
Master Blaster.
I think the most annoying thing about the white guy saves the natives narrative is that it shows no sign of going away.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're going to do Avatar 2, which means it's still in the public mindset, and Avatar came out less than 10 years ago. We have got to stop making this fucking movie. I am so tired of this movie. I don't want it anymore. Yeah. They already did it the best they could possibly do it. Walk the fuck away.
And the best they could have possibly done it wasn't very good.
Yeah. Well, no. The Princess Mononoke is the best they could possibly do.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, Avatar. If that was
just
the best Avatar was going to be.
Fuck it. Walk away. I don't even want an Avatar 2.
You frickin' wasted you're Ripley.
Yep. You put Sigourney Weaver in a movie with aliens, and you didn't give her goddamn dues. Ellen Ripley is literally my favorite female character alongside Samus Aran, which is the canonical pronouncing of her name, Samus Aran. They say it in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Samus Aran. Those two women are the ass-kickingest characters in all of xenofiction. And you put Sigourney Weaver in a movie with extraterrestrials, and she went out like a punk bitch. Boo. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, where was the hope for that movie? They cast Sam Worthington. If Toast was a human, it's Sam Worthington.
Specifically, he is what...
And then he flipped right around and did it again, because he was in the frickin'
Clash of the
Titans.
Bullshit movie! Bullshit movie!
I'm going to tell you something.
And it got a sequel!
I'm going to tell you something, American viewing public. Sam Worthington doesn't look Greek.
Okay, by that measure, Gods of Egypt.
Ugh.
Why does... I think it's Horus.
Like, I will give the gods a pass. They're gods. It doesn't
They
matter
can look
what
however they want. Liam Neeson is Zeus, I'll believe it.
Fine. You know what? Best version of Hades ever. Gray skin, blue fire hair.
Whatever.
Talked like a Jew.
But,
it was perfect. But the actual inhabitants of the region...
They need to be the thing that they are.
And I can believe, sort of, he couldn't find Egyptian actors that spoke English well enough for his big-budget Hollywood movie. I do not believe he couldn't find any North American or Middle Eastern actor.
They're all British!
Yeah.
They're all British! Why do they keep doing that?
Although he also made it super worse, because he's like, I have to cast big movie stars. No one's going to come see a movie starring Muhammad whatever.
Except for the fact that he made Horus look like Snake Plissken. He looks like fucking Snake Plissken. That wasn't Gods of Egypt. It was Escape from Cairo. I'm sorry. Fuck that movie.
Dude, what if Ramesses... Is it Ramses in that movie?
I have
Who gives
no
a shit?
idea.
What if Ramses rolled up in his chariot and it was Kurt Russell?
I would have shit my pants. I would have... I just filled my pants with a travel pillow.
Hey guys, I know how to solve your God problem. Come on. Come on, egg shit.
Don't worry. I got this. Once upon a time, I defeated a Chinese necromancer.
He just rocks off his chariot, egg shin, low pan pop up.
Yeah, dude, don't worry about
Ancient Eastern magic.
I also defeated an alien. Probably. Kurt Russell might be my favorite action actor of all time because he was also in Universal Soldier. Oh, no, wait. No. Yes, wait.
Was he Dolph Lundgren?
No, that was the sequel.
Oh, that was Van Damme.
That was Van Damme.
Yeah.
He was in... No, it was just that movie just called Soldier.
Okay.
That's what it was. I'm glad I remembered that. But yeah, damn it. Also, why do we keep reusing plot lines with time travel that don't have the scientifically accepted... Like Hitler exists in our time. Which means that you cannot change the past. Because everyone wants to go back in time and kill Hitler. He's not dead. So we haven't done it.
Yes, all time travel movies necessarily exist. Multiverse theory.
Every time. Has to be.
Your time, you fixed a time.
Exactly.
It's like fucking X-Men Days of Futures Past.
Doesn't work like that.
Well, it may work in X-Men, because Marvel does not function under normal anything.
Well, yeah, read, what is it? Marvel 1662?
I think it's 1662.
So good. So good.
But yeah, alright. Now I just want Kurt Russell to be in other movies again.
I just want him to show up.
Soon, young Skywalker, your journey will be complete.
I really wish they would make a Captain Planet movie.
Oh, he would be the best
Captain Planet. He would be amazing as Captain Planet.
The power is yours.
Now, how about this one, though? A live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Okay. Okay.
Presumably you mean with, like, CG guys.
No. Humans. Now, follow me on this one.
I don't want to.
Tracy Morgan is Knuckles. Okay? Follow me. Andy Dick is Tails. All right?
You're not making a good case for this.
Precisely. All right? And we get either Danny DeVito or any other small, rotund, loud man to be Dr. Robotnik, because I refuse to call him Eggman, because he's Dr. Ivo goddamn Robotnik. And then Sonic the Hedgehog is played, of course, by America's sweetheart, Keanu Reeves.
That's the worst movie ever.
Specifically, he would have to be channeling Ted Theodore Logan.
What would that even be like? Guys, I don't think we should attack Robotnik's fortress. Yo, man, I think we're gonna go to mess this up, yo!
And then he's like, bruh, chill out. It's alright. I'm the fastest thing alive.
Whoa.
Let me just polish off this chili dog, and then we'll go beat that guy.
He's a bad guy. Excellent!
I really do think that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is one of the finest pieces of cinema of all time.
It's a good movie.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Because it does not bring up anything having to do with paradoxical situations with historical figures.
No, it's just straight up, I have to come back here and get you guys to pass school because you saved the future.
And it doesn't question how, like, well, if the future happened, then how is it not happening now?
Because he came back and did it. Stable time loop.
Stable time loop. It has to be a stable time loop.
Yeah. Rufus.
George goddamn Carlin. In the only role I think he ever played where he never said a crass or obscene thing.
No, yeah, that's probably true.
But it's probably my favorite thing he ever did. It's just utterly brilliant. I don't know what it is about that movie that makes me so happy. Why isn't that an archetype that people have since followed?
The like, dopey but well-meaning guys who stumble their way into doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Well, because they tried it a bunch in the 90s, remember? But that's how we ended up with Encino Man and Biodome.
Fuck you, Encino Man is a classic.
No, nothing with William Baldwin is a classic.
No, that's Biodome. Pauly Shore and Sean Astin and Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser isn't the Encino Man.
Return. That is a phenomenal movie. I will not sit here and let you bash Encino Man. That is a great movie.
I'm just saying from a financial standpoint, two idiots who saved the day sort of died off in the 90s.
Because of Biodome, because it is one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah.
It is seriously so bad. I'm so pissed at it. Because, like, the thing is...
You want to know why Bill and Ted is a successful movie? Is there's one line. Dude, where's Socrates in the book? Check under Socrates.
Perfect. That is perfect.
Ugh.
Love San Dimas.
Loves everybody.
God damn it.
And Napoleon at the water park.
Oh, and then Beethoven.
With the keyboard.
Oh my god. Yeah, Beethoven apparently just out of nowhere becomes Keith Emerson. Like it just happens. He becomes the just fuck yeah.
Were you just doing the frickin' A1 steak sauce commercial?
Okay. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I believe it was on the album Brain Salad Surgery, did release a song called Hoedown that was that classic, like, Turkey in the Straw, but fucking amped up and prog as shit.
This is like that time you were miming the banjo and you somehow managed to come out with the SWAT Cats theme song.
Yeah, that's because the SWAT Cats theme song lives in my mind as one of the greatest theme songs of all time.
Man,
why did that
SWAT Cats?
You ever notice that show? How the hell does he, like, because it's Razor and
T-Bone.
And Razor's the skinny one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Razor's the one that, like, generally speaking, he's like the one that manufactures most of their weapons.
Yes.
Okay. How does...
They explain that.
No,
they explain that. Because that junkyard they work in is a military junkyard.
That's not the part that confuses me. How does he have an anti-T-Rex missile, and how did he know he was going to need it?
He adapted their jet to pour molten soup in one episode.
I mean, I know, but they took off.
Look, if you were in a junkyard and saw some shit and went, hey, I could make an anti-T-Rex missile, wouldn't you?
What the fuck is
Wouldn't you?
But what the fuck is in an anti-T-Rex missile?
A meteor.
I would actually think what it would be is an anti-T-Rex missile would be a very shallow bowl filled with exactly what that T-Rex needed to survive, so its little tiny hands couldn't...
No, here's what you
couldn't grab it.
What you do is the only thing that could kill the dinosaurs. You fill the anti-T-Rex missile with the most dangerous thing in the world. Man!
It's just a guy pops up. In a world populated by anthropomorphic cats...
Just a dude comes up. That was supposed to be an episode.
Seriously?
Where, like, aliens crash-landed on the planet.
And it's people?
And it was people.
Was that supposed to be, like, part of the second season or in the third season that never happened?
It was a script that got written and rejected.
Damn it! That would have been amazing! But then it would have been too much like that stupid, Planet 51?
Yeah.
That was a bad movie. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you have better judgment.
No, he doesn't.
You're right. He was in Journey to the Center of the Earth 2. He replaced Brendan Fraser.
He was also in The Tooth Fairy.
He was also in... well, it's weird. Because he was in The Mummy Returns. And, okay... I get it.
Honestly, I don't even count that because he's only in the movie for like 10 seconds.
And then the rest he's horribly CGI'd.
And then he made The Scorpion King.
Which is actually not bad.
It's alright.
And like, I like The Mummy Returns because they just threw everything sensible out and were like, let's do this. And then The Mummy 3, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor came along and ruined it.
But you know what? He's having a rebound because his last couple of big action movies were pretty good. Ballers is a great show.
I actually want to ask, all these action heroes...
Also, before we move on, he's got a Disney movie coming soon.
Oh.
He's that big, lunky guy in Moana.
Okay, I'll take it.
They cast him as a Samoan.
Oh.
Good job, Disney!
Isn't he?
He is
good.
Well, he's half Samoan and half black.
But it works.
It works.
I will say this.
He's got the Samoan tattoo.
Did you know that they originally produced a Halloween costume for that character, but literally immediately pulled it off the shelves? Because at that exact moment that it was announced, everyone went, you can't do that. That's super racist. At which point they're like, oh, shit. It is super racist to make a costume that's literally just a muscle suit covered in, like, Maori tattoos.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes!
Ooh.
Super not okay. It's just a brown muscle suit.
With a loincloth covered in tribal tattoos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not okay. That is the definition of cultural appropriation.
I really want to see The Rock come out dressed as that character, though.
Please. Oh my god. But no, how? Like, who's resetting all these traps in all of these ruins? Because there's always you know what I mean? There's always skeletons and shit.
You know, the only movie I can ever think of that addressed that was Indiana Jones, because the traps reset themselves in the first movie.
Yeah. But for a lot of these, like, think about the Goonies. Chester Copperpot is underneath one of those rocks that, like, falls down and crushes him. That's the only trap that got triggered, right?
Yeah.
But when the kids trigger it, the same trap, every single rock falls. But they're released. There's no method by which they could be winched back up.
Ghosts. One-Eyed Willie's ghosts.
I mean, I guess.
It either had to be One-Eyed Willie or Sloth was sneaking down into the tunnel.
Yes!
Fix the traps!
That's... Okay, so I work at a restaurant where we bake our own bread, and every time someone has ugly bread, I literally just pick it up, hold it up to the person that baked it, and in order to express how disappointed I am with the hideousness of the bread, I just go, bread love chunk. And it gets the message through every damn time. It never doesn't work. It's just, Bread love chunk.
Chunk love bread.
Exactly.
Have you ever gotten any of them to do that?
Oh, always. Every damn time. Except for one of my bosses who has never seen the Goonies. Which is a sin. It is required viewing.
I feel like the appropriate response is bread love bread. Chunk love bread. And then just take a huge bite out of it.
Yeah. Baby Ruth?
Baby?
I will tell you this. I'm very disappointed in pretty much everyone I work with because I found out 50% of my coworkers have never seen The Iron Giant.
Ooh. Hogarth?
Hogarth?
What kind of name is Hogarth?
I mean, he really gets his tongue on his teeth for that one. Hogarth. Ken Mansley, I work for the government. Is that Kevin Spacey?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but I like him.
I can't even remember who voices Dean, and he's the famous person in that movie. Oh, it's Jeff Goldblum. Isn't it?
No.
No?
It's not Jeff Goldblum.
He looks like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he does look like Jeff Goldblum. But he's got that
The soul patch.
beatnik flavor saver.
Well, it's set in the 50s. It's the appropriate...
Yes. He runs a
I
junkyard
have
where
met
he makes
so
modern
many
art.
people who missed that in that movie.
What, that it's in the 50s?
That it's set in the 50s.
That's literally the point! The plot of the movie could not have taken place if it weren't in the 50s because they thought it was a Russian spy satellite.
There are people who didn't understand that Stranger Things was set in the 80s, even though the first frame of the TV show says Montana 1982 on it.
Yes. And you can also place it by the soundtrack.
And also, everything about it.
They're playing Dungeons and Dragons in a basement.
They're playing first edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm. Before the gazebo.
He's excited about getting an Atari for Christmas at the end.
Dude, fuck yeah, Atari.
See, that
I would be excited about getting an Atari right now.
That actually annoys me a little bit. Retroactively, because an Atari, it's like, dude, just wait a year, you can get an NES.
Oh my. That really sucks. Wait a second. If that series finished
Christmas 82.
the next year, that means that the video game market would have crashed.
Yes.
At near the middle of the next year.
Yes.
That means that almost definitely that character, so excited about that Atari, was gifted a copy of E.T.
Yes. He also vomits dimension slugs. So.
Whatever, that's not important.
Spoilers.
It's not important. That means he got a copy of E.T.
He also somehow manages to know a Kinks song that didn't come out until 1983, so...
Oh, should I stay or should I go?
Yeah.
Well, I actually...
Oops!
Well, I think it might be in 83.
No, it's not that song. It's when he's listing through the bands that are on the mixtape, he says a band that didn't have a released track until 1983.
Damn. They got enough right.
It's mostly right.
I'll give them.
Yes.
I'll give them. And with us, once again, managing to talk about Stranger Things and its 80s goodness, I believe that's all we have time for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We sure did. Sorry about horrible puns and terrible casting choices.
Yes.
Follow us, like us, suggest things. We love you.
Chunk love audience.